Yeah, he could look like Drewski.
Apparently, he's the Palm Beach Drewski now after the live
He
show.
definitely looks like Drewski.
All right, let's get this shit on the road.
Yeah, man. So first, starting with some like fashion takes. I want to get into some like quick little fashion news that's been going on throughout the weeks. Obviously, we've all been aware of Sunday was a devastating day, and not even just fashion, just our culture in general. Mm-hmm. We lost the great Virgil Abloh, and so when I found out that like Virgil passed away on a Sunday, one of the homies called me. He was like, "Yo, bro, Virgil just died." I'm like, "Nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga, you lying?" Yeah. Then I go on Instagram, I see it just literally all over, and I'm like, I literally couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
It's like I wasn't crying, or I was just stuck.
It was just abrupt.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that same feeling when Chadwick Boseman passed away, where it's like, the fuck is this? Did this nigga die? That's the first thing that came to my mind. This nigga died, and he did. So I just want everyone to know like Virgil was, even though he's a menswear designer, but he was a lot more. He was an innovator. He was a creator, and he's one of the very few people that made people realize that whatever you inspire to be, you can make it past that.
Right.
And he was literally a general form of black excellence and a gatekeeper. He's literally the reason why like all the little niggas that you see on Instagram, why they have a platform is because Virgil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if y'all realize that Virgil, he was like a streetwear designer. He had Pyrex, Off-White, Bentrill. He had then he became creative designer of like Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And literally Virgil, so much shit I want to say. With Virgil, we have to literally like sit down and think like, this man put skateboards in Louis Vuitton.
That's true.
Can you guys like really like resonate that? Yeah. How skateboarders used to be looked at as like the peons, the annoying ass people, the sloppy, snotty nosed kids, dangerous kids, like scumbags. How skateboards are looked at. And he had skateboards in Louis Vuitton, had black models in Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know when's the next time we're gonna have like a gatekeeper, but yeah, bro, like I was just still shocked by that shit. So how you guys feel?
And just seeing the amount of influence he had on the Jerry Lorenzo, Sean Witherspoons, Kanye, all of those guys, Supreme. Like he had his hand in mentorship, innovation, all of that with a lot of different people. So I was kind of sad about it. One, because I own Off-Whites. And then two, it's just like, just to have a black man in a position of power like that in his industry, it was definitely hard for me and some of my friends as well.
For sure.
For me, Virgil is a creator, a disruptor, innovator, just an all-around people person. And before him, one thing I always admired about Virgil, and that's something that's skipping by a lot of people, is he showed us to look at the inner beauty of things. When I looked at the first Off-White, I'm like, yeah, MJ was MJ, and the shoe is iconic. Yeah. Like, he stripped the shoe of, like, all the dope shit, and he gave you the raw version of something, and I felt like that was beautiful, showing something in its truest form, in his raw form, and he's just showing you, like, that's why all the shoes, like, even with the tags, like, being on the side, everything intentional, it doesn't look like a finished product. And I felt like he was just somebody obsessed with the process of things. Yeah. And he saw the beauty in something before the completion of it. And I thought that was dope. And to have a black man pass and no nasty headlines, that was dope.
Yeah. That's
I'm grateful that he lived gracefully. I'm grateful that he did not overdose on anything. I'm grateful that he kept his life private. And I'm grateful for the people that he put on. And it says a lot when every major fashion house in the world
respects you,
paid their respect to a 41-year-old black kid that just, like, at the height of his success passed. It kind of puts him in the caliber of people like the Tupacs and the Biggies. It's like the influence you have for the last 5 years in fashion alone is gonna, like, literally... People are gonna steal your ideas, because even when he was popping, Vans bit off of him. Like, so, like, Nike started, the deconstructed shoe.
The 10,
The 10, like, his ideas were just stolen and replicated so much.
Fam,
and
designing Richard Millie's like where is the range? Like there's so much range with this guy, bro.
And like you said, he's much more than a designer. He was just an interior designer. He liked furniture, just like Kanye. It was just like he was an all around like innovator. And yeah, man, this is very sad news for all the creatives. Yep. And I just hope that whoever they have, coming in, that person has a lot of shoes to fill. Because,
man, there's some people in the industry, like I said, like the Instagram dudes that y'all probably know of, like the Bloody Osiris's, the Bloody Dior, Lucas Sabat, Evan Mock. You have Kerwin Frost. Like Virgil is that one of the only few people where he can be having dinner with Ralph Lauren himself, then will be in a New York like freaking basement party the same day.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how, but like Virgil literally had his hands everywhere. Like he was even into brands, even in Miami. Like he was known for wearing Stray Rats and Andrew, and it's just crazy. And I'm gonna be honest. We all had our words about Virgil. Like, has Virgil been squeaky clean in the media his whole life? No, he's done some things that I just didn't agree with. Like I wasn't a fan of him promoting like black men wearing dresses. That was just my personal take. And of course, the internet like freaking was like shitting on him for the 50 cents thing.
The $50 donation.
The $50 donation.
To Black Lives Matter thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even though like yes, Virgil wasn't the dude to be walking. He wasn't the dude to be like walking in like the Black Lives Matter protest, but he's one thing about him. He did like give back to his community that probably ways that people didn't realize. Like when I went to the Off-White store in Miami, all I saw was black people working there. He knew how to give black people more opportunities. So I don't know when's the next time we're gonna get a gatekeeper that really cared about our community. And another thing about Virgil, this man really blurred the lines between streetwear and high-end fashion.
That's true. And one last thing I gotta say, I know people might kill me for this. Do you know how hard it is to make it in high fashion being black? Not only black, but not being gay. I don't think people think like that. Like most of your high-end designers, the Tom Fords, the Karl Lagerfelds, like no disrespect, but these are homosexual men. The fact that he was able to remain himself, had his tie to the streets, meaning like the street artists, the street kids that like fashion, and still get to hang with the big dogs and bridge that gap is just beautiful.
Fam, he put Chief Keef in the museum.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And he designed a couple album covers that people don't even know about.
And right before we leave Virgil, man, one thing I just didn't like, people even asked me, "Oh, Gary, how come you're not posting about Virgil? I know that was your man's and stuff." But like grieving is different for everybody.
Correct.
Just one thing I just naturally just don't understand how everyone was like grieving is just I put on my Instagram, I saw a little bit more Flexin than grieving. Like I understand that like Virgil passed, you want to show like what he's known for. But at the end of the day, I just felt like niggas was wiping their tears with Off-White shoes and like selling like, oh, hey, I'm mad that Virgil cried, but bro, I have these $10,000 Off-White shoes that he made, but he's like, they're kind of like flexing in a way. Yeah. It's just a little weird. And like, I don't know about how y'all, but like when you lose someone close to you, the last thing I'm thinking about is going on fucking social media. Like,
I'll never understand why people do that. They did the same thing with Kobe. Kobe passed away. Next thing you know, you get on StockX, his prontos are $1,500. And like, what do y'all get out of that?
And that's my beef. And it's like, if we plan on spreading his legacy, don't we want as many people to have
be accessible
his
to
stuff?
It. Yeah.
Like making his stuff more exclusive is only like limiting his legacy and his imprint in the fashion community.
Do you know how sick I look? I'm like, oh my God, my homie just passed. Let me just write this full paragraph and let me go into my archive and look for every single picture he was in my album. And then you post it. I'm like, fam, you look like kind of a weirdo. And damn, we really been gone for a minute because Young Dolph passed.
Yeah,
that's true.
Young Dolph passed, and freaking, we knew Key Glock was going through it because all we heard from Key Glock, he put on his story and all black saying, hey, yo, y'all stop calling me. I don't know. Niggas was acting weird on social media.
We're going to explore more about Young Dolph later, but what I do want to say is, if you didn't know he was battling cancer, you were not in the close friends
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the niggas that know him knew that, and they kept that in the tuck.
Yeah.
So all these people that's acting shocked or try to post pictures of him, like, did you run into him and ask for a picture? Did you know him, or were you his friend?
Right.
So
Right.
I we have to kind of draw the line somewhere, because there's a lot of people that would be chasing clout on the dead, and that's sickening.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
You should. And
that's it for me on that.